What's up, good people? Welcome back to Financialdemics, where I give you the tips and tools to manage your money, increase your savings and your income, and decrease your debt. And today I'm going to give you a recap of the Elevate Influencer Conference. So the Elevate Influencer Conference was a conference that I attended in August. And this conference is the premier event for personal finance professionals and influencers who speak primarily to people of color. Now, this event was the brainchild of Sandy Smith. She runs a blog called Yes, I Am Cheap. She teaches different people how to start their own businesses and different ways in which they can make money in her side hustle crew. And I will link her website below, and of course the YouTube channel of the Elevate Influencer Conference. So you may be wondering why the need for this conference. But what you have to understand is that there are just unique challenges when it comes to the finances of people of color. And so bringing all of the different professionals and influencers together, we're able to educate ourselves, but also learn different ways in which can help us grow our business, but also educate our audience in that same area. This was the second year of the conference. Last year, the conference was held back in May in New York City. This year, it was actually virtual. It was supposed to be in DC, but unfortunately, couldn't happen that way. But let me tell you, being virtual did not take away from any of those great gems that was dropped at this conference. This conference was amazing. It was even better than last year, and I'm so glad they continue to have it in the event of everything that's going on. So let's talk about this conference, y'all. It was so fire. Like, I cannot believe it was virtual because it was so good. That's all I kept saying the whole time. And if you don't know, so good is above great in my book. That extra so makes it, up there. Like it skyrockets above great. But the conference was so good. From the different panels, the speakers, the education. If you did not know just the history of people of color, you found out at this conference, because Sandy and her amazing team really made sure that we were educated on our history, but then also really made sure that we knew the different techniques and skills to be able to build our own businesses and increase our own revenue streams. But anyway, the energy was so high and I was at my house. So think about if we were actually in person. It was just so good. Like, a few of my personal finance friends and I were actually having conversations on the side about how good the conference was. And we were really like, oh, we wish we were together. And not because being virtual took away from it. It was just that the energy was so amazing that we knew if we were together, oh my goodness, you just wouldn't be able to contain it. And I think the only thing too that we really missed was the food. So if you were at year one of the conference, you know the food was amazing. And so, of course, because we were virtual, we didn't have the food aspect. But there's always next year because they made sure that we ate really well last year. Now, even though the conference was virtual, they really took the time to help us stay involved and really enjoy what was going on. So we had an actual app that kind of kept us in the loop of the agenda, gave us opportunity to meet other people, of course, ask them questions if we needed to. We got to do like icebreakers, which I did lose by 2. I'm not happy about that, but that's okay. I didn't have banana bread, even though I was planning to make it, and I didn't have alcohol. I don't usually keep alcohol in the house, though. lost out on that. We had like different meetups, and I was able to meet people who I didn't even know, people in my own city. There is so many people in my city doing personal finance that I think it's like such a great thing. And hopefully we'll be able to get together later and be able to support each other. I was also able to connect with people in my professional field, which kind of helped me come up with a new series that I'll be telling you all about later. That was really good because it was the support I needed to really get me to do that thing. You know how you always got something you need to do, but you're holding back. But when you have other people with you, sometimes they help push you. And so I was able to meet someone who has been on my case and really been a great support for this new thing I have coming. Okay, so now let's talk about the sessions and the speakers, because I know that's the part you actually want to hear about. So day one of the conference was actually free due to their sponsor, Motley Fool. And they actually had some other great sponsors like NAV, the Plutus Foundation, Freeman Capital, and AARP. So these sessions were extremely informative. Of course, there was a fabulous kickoff with Sandy Smith, the founder, Harlan Lance, who is the founder of the Plutus Foundation, and Tiffany, the Budgetnista. But then there were also different panels and speakers that they had during the conference. There were different sessions about systemic racism and how that has affected people of color, by Richard Rothstein, who is the author of The Color of Law, and then also by Sean Rochester, who is the author of The Black Tax. And if you want to check out those books, I'll make sure I'll link them below. And then they also had a panel that included the two speakers I just mentioned and Lynette Calfani Cox, talking about the financial state of Black America, which was very insightful, and it was just very interesting to hear their different viewpoints on where we stand, how we got there, but then also how can we improve and not be in the situation where they're saying that I think it's in 2025, they're expecting our net worth to be $0. Like, how can we change that? Okay, so on day 2 and 3, they were more focused on the influencers and basically how can we grow our business. Because when you go to conferences, you're looking to improve, right? It's professional development, a way that you can increase your skill set, but then also increase, the money you make, or also increase the impact that you have on others. And so those were the focuses for the next couple of days. So there were sessions that focused on growing your business, the different streams of income you can have in your business, because I talk about streams of income on here. Even if you have a business, you shouldn't have a one stream of income. There were also sessions about how to manage the money you make, and then also how to handle the financing, because sometimes to grow to that next level, you need some type of financing. The conference closed with a keynote by Patrice Cunningham Washington. If you don't know who she is, I will link her podcast below. It's so good. It's called Redefining Wealth. Let me tell you, her keynote was so good. You know what I said about so good? It was a whole sermon. I believe it truly elevated everyone who was listening, and pun intended. It was definitely something that I've gone back to listen to, and I really need to sit down and just, record my screen, because I definitely need to hear that on a weekly basis, because she basically prepared you mentally to go out and get what you want, as far as in life or in business or however, but just go and get it. So if you are a personal finance professional or an influencer, then you definitely should attend this conference. There are so many people of color who are out there doing some of the same things you are. And it's great to be able to build that community because you can't do it on your own. And sometimes you need that support from others. So next year, the conference is going to be in Tulsa. I gave you the link to the actual website and the link to the promo video for next year. I know you should know why Tulsa is important, but if you don't, Tulsa is the home of Black Wall Street, and next year is the 100th anniversary of what happened at Black Wall Street. So we plan to be there for Elevate Influencer 2021. In the comments below, let me know what questions you have about Elevate Influencer. I will definitely answer all the questions I can for you. And if not, I'll point you in the right direction. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Share it with a friend so they can find out about Elevate Influencer also. And if you're not subscribed already, go ahead and subscribe to the channel so you do not miss any of my uploads, and I will see you next time with an all new video.